Hey guys, how you doing today? Just got off work, heading home. The talk of the town is the Wall Street bets scandal. An enormous fight between a group of internet nerds who got together and started to use Wall Street as a casino, because it's a casino, and the hedge fund managers who own and operate and run Wall Street. Here's the quick recap. So, there's a stock, GME, that's GameStop stock, that the hedge funds were all shorting, right? And Wall Street Bets took a bet that the hedge funds were placing more bets against GME, you could tell it's complicated, against GME than they actually had liquidity to cover, right? And so all of these guys from Wall Street Bets get together. They buy up a whole bunch of stock that raises the price of the stock. The value of the stock raises so high that the hedge funds start to panic, okay? They start closing down buying. You can no longer buy the stock. They closed down the stock market. They closed down... They did all kinds of manipulation. They made it so you can't buy the stock anymore. And so now you are in a position where the people who have the stock are the last holders of it. This is what was happening on the way into the weekend, right? So now the market opens. The value of the stock was set at about $350, maybe $325, right? And immediately dropped down to $275. And now has continued to drop down, what the Wall Street Bets guy are calling a dip. And here's what's happening, right? Because the Wall Street hedge funds are trying to convince everybody that the story is over. Oh, the stock price dropped right back down. Don't worry, no story here. You guys might as well sell, right? Just sell your stock, right? Get whatever money you can out of the deal. Everything's totally fine. No more story here, you guys. No more story here. And in fact... people should be buying silver. Like, look how well silver's doing. Isn't silver doing great? So Wall Street has clearly turned around to its corporate stooges in the media and gone, you guys need to start lying to the public. You need to start lying and saying that this story is over, this story is dead, that the situation is completely taken care of, and that people need to move on to silver. The silver grift has two strong incentives coming from Wall Street. One, they're holding silver, right? A lot of these firms are holding silver. And so getting people to actually buy silver means that they're not buying GME. They're not focusing on the GME. It also gives them the liquidity that they need to potentially actually cover these short sells that they don't have the money or the liquidity to actually cover, right? And what happens to companies if they don't have the liquidity to cover their bets? They go bankrupt. That's the end of them. So this is the stakes for these stock markets. And what they have done, what caused the dip, right? Well, why has the stock dipped then, Jonathan? If the shares are supposed to all go up and everything's supposed to go rocket to the moon, why is there a dip? It's because Wall Street still has powers of manipulation. They still have things that they can do to buy themselves some time. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to scare the holders. They're trying to scare the shareholders. That's the Wall Street Bets crew, the internet nerds. They're trying to scare them into thinking that, oh no, the price is plummeting and everything's going horrible. I'm going to sell, right? The thing is that because we're in a short squeeze, okay? There's a short squeeze going on where the hedge funds don't have the money to cover the bets that they've made, and the Wall Street Bets guys know this. That means that the hedge funds must buy back the shares, but they don't. So this ultimately sets the value of the shares. If you have something and you know that someone else must buy it from you, they must buy it from you, and you know they must buy it from you, what is the value of that thing? The answer is as much as you want it to be, right? And that's the situation that we're in. The Wall Street Bets crew are holding on to something that Wall Street must buy back. They must buy it back. And they know they must buy it back. And so they're going to set the price as high as they possibly can. And many of them are saying on this forum that they're going to not relinquish it. They are going to collapse this system, and that is their intention. So what the stock market has done, what the hedge funds have done, is they've run something called a short ladder something. Squeeze. Oh, God. One of these Wall Street Bets guy help me, but it's a short ladder attack. That's what it is. Short ladder attack. Okay? A short ladder attack is a way to drop the value of a stock temporarily and artificially, right? So it's the equivalent of, if you have an object and that object is worth $1,000, it's the equivalent of two guys standing in front of you talking to one another saying like, oh, you know, I think I saw one of these $500 not too far away. I think I'll just go buy the one for $500, right? You know what? Yeah, you're right. I think I did see that $500 one, right? So Wall Street is placing bids that they have no intention of buying with, right? So they're just lowballing through bids, and that drops the price of the stock temporarily, and it is not a real value of what the stock is. But it is a way to manipulate the price and attempt to spook these holders into releasing their shares. And they're not biting. The reason why Wall Street Bets is not biting on this lie and on this grift is because they know that the volume isn't moving, right? They have all this data. All this data is public. They can see that the volume hasn't moved, right? Not significantly, not enough to warrant a mass sell-off, right? So they know that what this is a form of attack to arbitrarily and artificially lower the value of their stock in order to scare them into selling off early. But they're not biting. They're not biting. So they're still holding, and the market closes today, and the stock is pretty low, like $230, right? When, remember, it started at like $330 at the start. So it's dipped down. This is day one of the struggle. This is day one, and this forum is dead set certain. They are absolutely entrenched in the idea that at the very least this stock is going to rocket to the moon, and even more than that, you guys. Goldman Sachs has put on the table the idea that this could be a market-threatening situation. Okay, this is Goldman Sachs we're talking about. This is not a group of internet guys saying that. This is Goldman Sachs releasing statements saying that if this continues, if this situation unfolds in the wrong way, it could bring down the entire stock market. Holy cow, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive, to witness this, to witness an extension of the Occupy Wall Street movement, of the housing market crash, the greatest offenses against the American people. And now here is a moment where a group of them are punching back. And it's at this point, I am the Canadian communist, that I do have to ask, is this how we're supposed to organize a stable economy? Do you guys legitimately think that this is the wisest way to stabilize your economy, to create an economy that is for the benefit of all? Because what I am seeing here, okay, and it's a wonderful story, and I'm having a great time with it, because it's a wonderful heist-like story, but what I am seeing here is antagonism. There is antagonism built within the system, that for anybody to actually get anything done in the system that we're currently living in, they have to go to war. They have to fight. They have to bid against each other. They have to fight against each other. There are winners and there are losers. There are and in order to win, someone else has to lose. Do you legitimately believe that this is the wisest way to organize what we're doing? Because I don't. I don't. Why is it that these shares are out of control of the workers in the first place. Like, really think about this. The shares are owned currently, even if the Wall Street Bets guys hold on to the shares, even if the Wall Street Bets guys hang on to the shares, and even if they don't relinquish them, they are not the workers in these enterprises. They are just the guys who who gamed the system to their benefit, right? The only way to get ahead in this economy, in this scenario, in this situation, is to manipulate a stock exchange in such a way, and an arcane kind of thing, so that you screw over a bunch of hedge fund guys in order to take money away from them and have it brought to you. And none of that is productive. It didn't build anything. It doesn't create anything. All it does is spread wealth into a different group. Instead of it being these hedge fund guys, it's these guys over here. But none of this is productive. It's not building anything. It's no institutional strength. It's no nothing. It doesn't help the actual people doing the actual work. And so my question ultimately is, why aren't the shares owned by the people doing the work? Shouldn't the shares be owned by the people doing the work? Don't you feel that the people doing the work shouldn't simply be assets in a company, like a piece of property? Because that's what they are, according to this stock market methodology. Has anybody actually thought about this for any length of time? That like, oh, if the workers don't actually own the shares, then the shares own the workers. And whoever owns the shares owns the workers. Oh, is our system based on wage slavery? Is our system a wage slave system? Oh, looks like. And so I keep saying this entire time, I'm going to keep saying it. If you really want to get rid of these hedge fund managers, like if you look at these hedge fund managers and you go, yeah, get yours, hedge fund managers. If you really want to get these hedge fund managers and end this game that we're seeing in front of us right now, and you want to permanently defeat the villains of the story, transfer the shares to the working class. The workers should own the shares in the companies they work for. They should own all, and without exception, people who do no work, who provide no value, and who game the system in order to keep us in our place, while simultaneously making more bets than they can pay off because they're so arrogant in their positions of power, should have nothing to do with this system, and the system shouldn't allow them to exist. Period. In the 17th century, these types of speculators were hung. We should bring that practice back. Not legitimately. Please, YouTube algorithm, do not ban me. Please. We have to start asking ourselves some serious questions about how our economy is structured and how this is looking and what we're here for and what we're here to do. Are we here to bicker amongst one another over pieces of paper that don't actually exist? Is that what we're really here to do? Don't get me wrong. I'm rooting for these Wall Street Bets guys. I hope they win. It's the story of the century. The person who did The Social Network, that writer, is already on the project. MGM already is working on the project, as they should. This is the story of the generation, right? Diamond Hand is the meme, absolutely. But we need to start asking ourselves, is this really how we want our economy to be structured? Is this really what we think is profitable or worthwhile for our society to be engaged in? I don't think so, and I hope that you guys agree. Anyway, guys, that's the end of me for this video. Like, share, subscribe. Like button right down there. Hit that like button, sends it around to the algorithm. The share button right beside it. Share it to your friends, share it to your family. If you've made it to this point and you haven't subscribed, my goodness, subscribe, right? I'm going to be following this Wall Street Bets thing all the way down. I also have like communist theory, communist kind of videos, communist stuff coming out of this channel all the time. And I'm always reporting on the news, always reporting on what's going on from the communist perspective, which I doubt you got in your diet. So here I am. Please like, share, subscribe, do all the bells, do all the whistles. And hey, guys, a lot of you guys just made a whole bunch of money, right? Aren't a lot of you guys about to make a whole lot of money? You know, I got a Patreon down below in my description. You could just give me $1. Honestly, $1 would really make my day. Good luck, guys. We're going to need it.